How in the world are people retiring by the age of 30? Well, stick around to the end of this video and I'll tell you the exact steps to take to become financially free and retire early. Being financially free means that you have enough money in the bank to support yourself. So kind of like retirement, where you have enough money saved up and in your account to support your living expenses. And being financially free means you don't have to work until you die. While some of us won't retire by the time we're 30, we'll retire well before the normal retirement age if you follow these steps to financial freedom. So how do you become financially free? Well, most importantly, you need multiple streams of income. So that's side hustles, passive income. You need more than just your 9-to-5 job. You can't retire from your 9-to-5 job at age 30. Most companies aren't going to let you do that. So you need money coming in from multiple streams of income. And you also need to cut your expenses. Anything you don't need to be spending money on, you need to cut it out. Because part of retiring early is having enough money to live off of. And you can't live off of that if you're spending $60,000 a year. So you have to be mindful of that, and it does kind of require a frugal lifestyle. But even if you don't want to retire by the age of 30, I'm just throwing out 30, it's just any young age that you want to retire by. Even if you don't want to retire by the age of 30, I believe everybody should be practicing these things because it just sets you up for financial success. Before you jump into having 10 new side hustles, you need to change the way you think about money. And to change the way you think about money, you need to analyze your own financial situation in its truest form. You need to analyze your debts, analyze your income, analyze your bills. You need to know where all your money is going and where all of it is coming from. You need to start thinking about your money as time. So instead of I'm buying this pair of shoes for $40, you're really buying that pair of shoes for 2 hours or however much you make per hour. We're just gonna assume $20 an hour or something similar to that. But if you make $20 an hour and you're buying a $40 pair of shoes, you're not really paying $40 for those shoes. You're paying 2 hours of your life. So is it really worth it? And you need to analyze it in that sense rather than, oh, it's just $40. You worked hard to get that money and you need to start thinking about it like that. So it's very important to start associating your time with your money rather than them being two separate things. You also need to set goals for yourself. So what does that mean to you? What is financial freedom to you? Is financial freedom quitting your job? Is financial freedom being able to have a part-time job? Whatever it is to you, you need to set the goals accordingly. It's different for everybody, so all the steps are going to be different depending on your situation and where you want to be. Financial freedom is very vague. Like, what does that even mean? It means you can support yourself with your income. Okay, your 9-to-5 supports you, but you're not really financially free because you're tied to that job. If you were to lose that job, you would not be able to support yourself without unemployment or other social security or other things coming in. But what does it mean to you to become financially free? Whatever it means to you, you need to realize that goal and actually write it down. Write it down. The saying where they say if you write it down, you're more likely to do it or something like that. I don't know if that actually works, but you should write it down. Actually, you should comment it down below. What is your goal? What does financial freedom mean to you? And you need to write down long-term goals as well as short-term goals. So if your long-term goal is to retire by the age of 40, how are you going to do that? How much would you need to have saved each year, each 5 years, whatever it is? You need to have long-term goals and short-term goals. So what kind of lifestyle do you want to achieve, and how is your lifestyle now going to let you achieve that? And Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, you need a budget. You're gonna need a budget even if you don't want to retire by the time you're 40 or however old. Even if you don't want to become financially free, you still need a budget. Being financially free doesn't necessarily mean you want to retire. It just means you want to be able to support yourself if something were to happen with your 9-to-5 job. Living frugally is actually a really effective way to retire early, among other things, obviously. But having a budget is so important. As I've mentioned in almost every video that I've made, having a budget is going to save you money, regardless if you think it is or it isn't. Just make the budget and then prove me wrong. But having a budget and tracking your spending saves you money And it also gets you in that right mindset of changing the way you think about money. So the bills, they need to be paid, obviously. And saving money, it should be automatic at this point. So you should be having a certain amount of each paycheck, or at the end of the month, that should be automatically going into your savings account. So you don't even see it, and therefore you can't spend it. So you need to spend less than you are making. That is so important, and that's why a budget and tracking your spending really works, and it really helps you see where you really don't need to be spending all this money and where you can cut some expenses where you didn't think you could before. And when you do end up cutting expenses, don't just spend that money on something else. Try investing it or putting it into your savings account where it's going to actually help you in the future, rather than just spending it on something else that's still losing you money. And living life on a budget is not glamorous, but you can still enjoy life. Focus on experiences rather than materialistic things. You're gonna enjoy life much more if you create memories rather than just hoarding materialistic things like a new iPhone or a brand new car. And you also need to make your budget realistic, because don't say you're gonna save 50% of your paycheck if you have tons of bills and you're in debt. That's obviously not going to work. You're gonna give up on it much sooner than you would if you had a realistic budget. And don't get me wrong, I go off of my budget sometimes. We're not perfect, but my budget is realistic for my bills and my amount of income. So you need to make sure that there's a balance, but you should always prioritize saving over spending. But obviously, get out of debt first before you start investing and spending all your money. And that leads right into the next point. You need to pay off all your debt to become financially free. You can't be paying a car payment and credit card debt and student loans. You just can't be paying all of those bills. You need to cut your expenses. And by cutting your expenses, that also means paying off your debt, because by paying off your debt, you're gonna have less monthly expenses. And with that extra money that you would be paying those student loans, that car payment, that phone payment, whatever it is, with that extra money that you no longer have after you pay off your debt, you can put that into investing. You can put that in your savings account. You can invest in your future and make that money work for you. If you're learning something or just enjoying the video, please hit that like button. It really helps me out and supports my channel. Thank you guys. Let's get back into it. So the most important thing you need to do to become financially free is you need to have multiple sources of income. These can be passive, side hustles, any kind of hobby that you can make money on, but you need to have money outside of your 9-to-5 job. And if you are working your 9-to-5 job and you plan to stay there for a while, you can ask for a raise. You need to find ways to increase your income without having to work extra hours. Experts recommend that you have 7 streams of income. 7 streams of income. Most people have 1 stream of income, their normal job. So even if you have 2, you are above average. And when trying to build these sources of income, you want to start small. You don't want to try to do 5 new things at once. Start with 1 and then build up from there. See what you like, see what you don't like. There are a ton of ways to make passive income, do a side hustle. Like I said, you can even do like a hobby that you're good at. You can paint and sell your art online. There's so many options. You just need to look in what's best for you. If you don't have a ton of time, probably an online gig would be best suited for you, but it's all about you and what you want to do. Don't just do it because you're gonna make money. You wanna do it because you actually enjoy it. What's the point of getting out of 9-to-5 to just get into something you don't like to do? And you can also do freelance jobs. I mean, there are just tons of ways to make money outside of your 9-to-5 that don't require you to work another job. So definitely look into some of those resources. And while you are creating these passive income streams, you need to invest in yourself also. While investing in yourself means something different to everybody, you need to do it. Whether it's investing in your Roth IRA, building your knowledge and building your skill set, it doesn't matter. You need to invest in yourself, and that means many different things. Saving money can be investing in yourself. Investing in your Roth IRA is investing in yourself. Building your knowledge with books, courses, seminars, coaches, that's investing in yourself. Do what you need to do to make yourself successful. Investing in yourself does not just mean investing in the future, it's investing in the now. While you're definitely going to have to make sacrifices throughout this journey, the benefits far outweigh the obstacles. It's not easy, but it takes planning and perseverance. You can do it if you really want to. Becoming financially free does not just have to be an idea in your head. Write down what you need to do, how you're going to get there. And remember, just because you want to be financially free does not mean you hate your job. Many people are financially free and still work 9 to 5 because they like their job. Wanting to work and needing to work are two separate things, and living paycheck to paycheck just is not ideal. Being financially free lets you enjoy life without worrying that you're not going to make enough to support yourself. Check out this video on 5 places your money needs to go, and I'll see you guys next week.